Okay, this is the second video for today, and this one I'm so excited because I get to show you how to use the calculator, even the sixth graders. And those of you that are at home and working online, um, even though you might not have the calculator that we had in class, this is the same idea. So we can use these calculators and then you can apply this to the calculators we have in class. So that's kind of fun. So the website that I have right here, and there's a link to it on our course classes page, is desmos.com/scientific. And you'll use Desmos a lot more too once you get into high school. But there's a really cool button. It's right here, and you see this little A over this little B, and this is a fraction button. So that kind of helps us to create fractions. So now we go back to these equations, and we look at it, and right now this looks really scary and hard. It says 1/3 plus A equals 5/4. And unlike 4 plus A equals 5, and maybe we can say in our heads, oh, I know that 4 plus 1 is 5, so I know A is 1. So instead of that, this one is a little more complex. This one requires you to actually know how to do the math. So we'll go through the three questions that we did that we know, right? What's the variable? What's happening to the variable? And how do I undo it? Okay, so in this equation right here, it says 1/3 plus A equals 5/4. Okay, so first question, what's the variable? The variable right here is A. Next question, what's happening to the variable? So we're looking at the variable, now what's happening? This is addition. So the opposite of addition, the inverse operation, is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 1/3. And it's okay. I know these are fractions and we don't really like doing that necessarily. But if I have 1/3 and I take that away, now I have 0 on this side. So I'm just left with A. Okay, 0 plus A is just A. But if I subtracted 1/3 on this side, remember I have to keep my equations balanced. So subtracting 1/3 means that I have to subtract 1/3 right here. Now, this is where the calculator comes in very handy. We could do this. We need to find a common denominator. The common denominator will be 12. 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 3 is 15. And 4 times 3 is 12, and 4 times 1 is 4. And 15 minus 4 makes 11. Remember, it was subtract. 11/12. So we can do that. We can come up here and write in the 11/12 like that. But I want to show you kind of a cool feature on the calculator. So this is where this comes into play. So we're going to go back to right here before we found the common denominator and all of that, okay? Because our calculator will simplify that for us. So we write in, this is the button that we use, and we come over here, and in the numerator, I'm going to write 5, and in the denominator, I'm going to write 4. So I'm creating this right here. So then I have to kind of come up, push your over key. This is your over key right here. So that gets you away from the fraction because it might be like 41, so it might want to stay down there in the denominator. So you got to push the over button. And now we're subtracting, and here's what we're subtracting. We're subtracting this right here, this fraction right here. So let's write this fraction. It's 1/3. Now our answer gives us this decimal, and that's awesome, but we need to write our answer like a fraction. So you're going to push this button right here to convert that decimal back to a fraction. And it's 11/12, which is what we knew it was going to be because we actually did the math before. Okay, so you come over here and you check. Yay, good work. Keep going. Okay, so let's do one more because I think that maybe you need just a little more help. So the next question looks like this. So this next question, we have decimals, but we're going to do it the same way. Our three questions, okay? All of these equations we're going to do the same way. First question, what's the variable? So look for the letter, and the letter in this one is Z. So we found Z. Now we're going to find out what's happening to Z. It's being subtracted by 1.1. So I'm going to do the opposite of subtract 1.1, and I'm going to add 1.1 to this side. And if I do that to this side, I need to do it to the other side of the equation, okay? So I'm going to add 1.1. Negative 1.1 plus 1.1, that's 0. And if you want to check that over here on the calculator, you can. Negative 1.1 plus 1.1 is 0. And that's why I did it. I wanted to get that to be 0, so I just had Z left, right? So I have Z, and I'm going to make sure I do the same thing to both sides. So that's add 1.1. Now, a lot of you can do this without the calculator. We line up our decimals and bring it down. 2 plus 1 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. And we have 3.3. But feel free to use the calculator for the decimals as well. We would put that on like this. 2.2 plus 1.1. Oops. I need to clear it because I didn't get that first 2 on there. Did you see that? It just kind of said the 0.2. Okay, so 3.3. Now I come up here and I put it in. 3.3, check. Great work, okay? Keep it up. Feel free to use the calculator. Feel free to reach out to me. My office hours are from 10 to 11:30 every day. Tomorrow we have our live session at 11:30. Okay, talk to you guys later.